Sandy G. I know it's been a long time, but I'm going to try and make sofrito. Sofrito is a Puerto Rican base that you would add to most of your dishes, tomato-based dishes. And what we're gonna start off with is we have white Spanish onions, green peppers, red peppers, we have cilantro, we have 3/4 of a pound of garlic, we have sweet peppers, and we have culantro, which in English is called coriander. You want to make sure that you wash everything before you start chopping everything up. I already washed my cilantro, my culantro, and I rinsed off the garlic, and I've set it to the side. I chopped it up a little bit and put it in a bowl. But these sweet peppers, after you rinse them off, you want to pop off the stems. So you can't have these stems inside your sofrito. Okay, so we're going to cut our peppers a bit off, okay? We're gonna cut the inside of the pepper. So I just take my hand and I pull it out into a bag, and then I just slam it down, get all the seeds out. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to follow that same step with all the peppers. We've got 5 red peppers and 4 green peppers, and we're gonna chop this up and put it in a bowl. So I'm gonna show you, we're gonna try to chop it up as small as possible, depending on the size of your food processor. You don't want really, really big chunks because you might end up having chunks inside of your food processor that needs to be done over. So try to get as small as possible, and bear with me because this is like my first video back from surgery, so it's a little difficult to hold a knife. But that's basically the size of the pieces of peppers that you are going to use. And we're gonna set this aside, and we're gonna repeat the process with all the peppers, and I'll be back with the onions. Okay, so I have my white Spanish onions, so we're going to peel them, and we're gonna cut them in chunks. And I have 3 large ones. So we're going to start off with cutting off the ends. Now we're just going to put a little line down the skin so it's easier to take the skin off. There we go. Okay, and all this skin and stuff, you want to just put in a bag nearby. Usually the bag that you got your produce helps. Less garbage. And then we're going to chop this up down the middle. This is what our ingredients to our sofrito is going to look like. So this is peppers, red and green, Spanish white onions, cilantro, culantro, also known as coriander, sweet peppers, and garlic. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this all in the blender, and we're going to, or the food processor. I have a Ninja, so that's pretty strong. And we're going to emulsify it, and we're going to put it in containers, and whatever we're not using, we're going to stick it in the freezer, and we are going to use maybe a spoon or 2 for our base for our dinners, like rice, yellow rice, stuff with tomato sauce, like yellow rice, rice with gandules, any kind of stews, guisos, sancocho, things that have tomato sauce. You would always start off your dish with sofrito. So I will be back when I start putting it in the food processor. So what you're gonna wanna do is you wanna get a container that is reusable, that's freezer safe. I get the Chinese food containers at the dollar store. You want to get a container that you really don't care about because it smells like garlic and it's going to hold that garlic smell in there. So you're not going to want to store any fruit or anything in these containers once you've already put sofrito in them because the smell is very powerful. Okay, so once you get your containers together, we have all of our ingredients. We're going to start blending it, and then when we finish blending it, we're just going to pour it in the containers. Okay, so yes, my hands are clean. Make sure you have your hands clean. And you're just going to start grabbing handfuls of your ingredients. And you're going to put it in the blender or your food processor, whichever one you have. And we are going to blend this until it is completely emulsified. And then we are going to, we're going to actually put it in like a large container first. And then once we're done with all the ingredients, then we'll start putting them inside separate containers. So I think I have enough here. Get my lid. Okay, so as you can see, it's all liquefied now. So we're going to take it down and we're going to pour it. I'm going to pour mine into a pot until all of it is done. You might see here that you have some cilantro that has wrapped itself around the blades. Just throw that back into the container. And here we have a pepper that didn't quite blend, but that happens. Did you see my big spoon that was here? I just had it here. Can you see down here? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour this mixture into here. Put the blade back in. Now I see a little piece of a pepper there. Okay, and then we're just gonna repeat the process. We're going to okay, so now we're going to try this again. And we're just going to repeat that until it's done. Okay, so I had to run mine through 3 times. So my blender pitcher is 72 ounces. So filling it up 3 times wasn't bad at all. So now you're gonna have all these different colors and you're going to want to mix everything up really well. And then as we're mixing everything up, we want to add 2 tablespoons of salt. I use Pink Himalayan salt. I'm going to use like a heaping spoonful. And the reason for the salt And so that way it keeps in your fridge. So we're gonna mix that up really well. And we're gonna start putting them in our containers. Now, most of this is going to go into the freezer, but I'm gonna have a container in my refrigerator. And I don't cook every day, especially now since I've had my surgery, I haven't really cooked, but I don't use sofrito every single day, and I don't want these ingredients to go bad. So that's the purpose of the salt. Yeah, I saw a little piece of cilantro in there. As long as it's not a chunk of pepper or a chunk of onion. The cilantro will wilt in the food when you cook it. So that's mixed. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to start filling up our bowls. Now we're not going to fill our bowls all the way up because when you freeze this, it's going to start to expand. So I wanna do maybe like 3/4 of the bowl, and then you're gonna put a lid on it and make sure your lid is on tight. Suggestion is use the side of your freezer door with the bar on it. That's a really good place to put sofrito because you can stack them. I usually put 2 rows, and you stack them on top of each other, and I usually get about 8 on the side of the freezer door. Now remember, this is excellent for making chicken stew, beef stew, soup, chicken soup, sopa de salchichon. I have a video of sopa de salchichon. When you're gonna make your beans, your red beans, pink beans, if you're gonna make rice, yellow rice, or rice with gandules, or rice with beans, or rice with chicken, which I also have videos up for those recipes as well. But this is our base for our tomato-based dishes, and I hope you enjoy it. I will put all the ingredients in the description below, and hope to see you again soon. Thank you for joining me. Now don't forget to share, like, and subscribe this video. Thank you for joining me. Till next time.